Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a terrifying horror mystery that will stay with you long after you've finished watching. The movie is called Passenger, set for release in 2026, and trust me, this is not your typical horror film. The entire story unfolds inside a haunted airplane where every single passenger is hiding a dark, twisted secret. You'll want to stick around until the very end, because the final twist completely redefines everything you thought you knew about the movie. The film kicks off with a late-night international flight getting ready for takeoff. At first, everything appears perfectly normal. We see passengers finding their seats, flight attendants going through the pre-flight safety announcements, and the plane smoothly ascending into the dark, cloudy sky. But almost immediately something feels deeply wrong. There's an unnatural quiet that settles over the cabin, and the passengers themselves seem emotionally detached, almost like they're just shells of people, not fully present in the moment. The tension is subtle but incredibly effective, making you feel uneasy right from the start. Mid-flight, the first truly unsettling incident occurs. A passenger gets up to use the restroom and simply never returns. After a while, the flight crew becomes concerned and starts a search. They check the restroom, but it's completely empty. There are no signs of a struggle, no open emergency doors, and absolutely no logical explanation for where this person could have gone. It's as if they just vanished into thin air. This is the moment when a quiet, creeping fear begins to spread among the other passengers and the crew. The initial calm is shattered, and paranoia starts to set in. As the flight continues its journey through the endless night, more and more disturbing things begin to happen. A woman, while looking around the cabin, makes a chilling observation. Some of the other passengers don't cast any shadows. Elsewhere, a man seated by himself starts repeating the same cryptic sentence over and over again. This flight already crashed once. At first, everyone dismisses him as mentally unstable, someone who's just having a breakdown due to the stress of the situation. But then tiny, impossible details start to validate his claim. The official flight records displayed on the in-flight entertainment screens begin to glitch and change. Seat numbers start disappearing from the overhead compartments. Passenger names mysteriously vanish from the flight manifest as if they were never there to begin with. The reality of their situation starts to unravel, piece by terrifying piece. About halfway through the movie, the horrifying, gut-wrenching truth is finally revealed. This airplane isn't just haunted. It's a ghost. The flight we've been watching crashed catastrophically years ago, and every single person on board, including the crew, died in that accident. The plane in the movie is not a real physical aircraft. It's a form of limbo, a transitional space caught between the realms of life and death. The most tragic part is that none of the passengers remember dying. They are trapped in an endless loop, forced to relive their final moments on this haunted flight, all while being tormented by the sins and regrets that define their past lives. This is where Passenger truly shines as a psychological horror film. It doesn't rely on cheap jump scares or gore to frighten you. Instead, the horror is deeply internal, stemming from the characters' own minds. The primary sources of terror are guilt, regret, and the paralyzing fear of accepting the truth of their demise. Each passenger isn't being haunted by external ghosts or monsters. They are haunted by the consequences of their own past decisions. The more they deny the reality of their situation, the more chaotic and violent the plane itself becomes. The cabin lights flicker erratically, severe turbulence shakes the aircraft violently, and disembodied whispers echo through the aisles, speaking of their deepest secrets and failures. The plane becomes a physical manifestation of their inner torment. The climax of the film is where all these threads come together in a truly terrifying revelation. The main character, through a series of harrowing events, finally understands the true nature of their journey. This flight has no destination on Earth. It is a judgment flight. It's a trial. Passengers who can find the strength to accept their death and confront the mistakes they made in life are granted peace and allowed to move on to whatever comes next. But those who cling to denial, who refuse to face the reality of their situation and their past sins, are doomed to an even worse fate. They are forced to repeat this ghostly flight for all eternity, trapped in an unending cycle of fear and regret. In the final haunting scene of the movie, the plane seemingly lands at an airport. For a brief moment, there's a glimmer of hope. But then, we watch as a new set of passengers begins to board the very same plane. The doors close, the engines roar to life, and the aircraft takes off once again, beginning the cycle anew. The horror is in the realization that this judgment never ends. It's a perpetual machine. So let's talk about the review. What really works in Passenger is its incredibly unique concept of a haunted flight as a form of purgatory. The psychological horror elements are exceptionally strong, getting under your skin in a way that jump scares never could. The atmosphere is consistently dark, oppressive, and deeply unsettling from start to finish. And the sound design is a masterpiece, using subtle whispers, creaks, and the drone of the engines to build an unbearable sense of dread. However, the film is imperfect. The pacing can be quite slow at times, especially in the first act, which might test the patience of some viewers. A few scenes also feel a bit confusing and could have been explained more clearly. Because of this, it's probably not the best choice for casual horror fans who are just looking for a fun, scary movie night. So here's the final verdict. If you're a fan of deep psychological horror, if you love mystery thrillers that keep you guessing, and if you enjoy movies that make you think long after the credits roll, then Passenger is absolutely a film you need to watch. It's a challenging but rewarding experience. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10, so that's the full explanation and review of the upcoming horror film Passenger. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into horror, and make sure you turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Now I have a question for you. Knowing the truth, would you board this flight? Let me know your answer in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.